So you heard Brewmaster Monk was going to make meta next season, but you've never actually played it? Yeah, me either. It's a spec that has a reputation for being complicated. Honestly, once you get the hang of the basics, it's not nearly as intimidating as people make it out to be. I spent the last few days diving deep, getting my hands dirty, and figuring out what this whole thing works, so you wouldn't have to. I'm still new to it, but I want to share what I've learned. Hopefully this gives you a head start, and good luck in Season 3. The first thing we're going to talk about is the damage priority. So, to understand how Brewmaster works, it's about your offense is your defense. Your main goal is to use your attacks to power up defensive abilities. It's all about creating a smooth flow. And your damage rotation is what makes everything else work. You want to hit your abilities as soon as they're ready, because doing so lowers the cooldown on your defensive brews. First, the most importantly, Cake Smash. This is your number one button. Use it on cooldown every single time. It does great damage and sets up your next ability, Blackout Kick. This is your go-to kick for damage, and it's what keeps the shuffle buff active, which makes you tankier, and is essential for the Season 2 set bonus. A third thing is Breath of Fire. After you've hit an enemy with a Cake Smash, followed up with this, it burns them for damage, and more importantly, makes them deal less damage to you. Rising Sun Kick is your big high damage kick. Hit it whenever it's available. And if you have it talented, Chi Burst. This is a fantastic ranged attack. It hits for a bunch of targets and even heals you for a bit, and is a nice ability to use on pull from range. But what do you do when everything is on cooldown? Easy. Use Tiger Palm for single target and Speeding Crane Kick for AoE damage. Just keep pressing buttons to keep your abilities running, you know? Now for the fun part, your big damage cooldowns. When you pull a huge group of enemies, you can pop these abilities together for a massive burst of AoE damage. Your two main cooldowns are Weapons of Order and Exploding Keg. Weapons of Order is a self buff that juices up your damage, and critically, it instantly resets the cooldown of Keg Smash. Exploding Keg does exactly what it sounds like. You throw a keg that explodes, dealing high damage and making enemies take more damage from you for a few seconds. Now, the biggest tip for the biggest damage spike is to do a Cake Smash, then hit Weapons of Order, which lets you immediately hit Cake Smash a second time. Hitting two of your strongest hits back to back feels amazing. Right after that, throw your Exploding Keg. Just take full advantage of all that damage buff you just stacked up. Alright, let's talk about how to stay alive. This is what makes Brewmaster so unique. Instead of just taking a big hit to the face, a portion of the damage gets converted into damage over time effect, called Stagger. You'll see this on your screen as a bar that fills up, with a yellow and red. Your main job is to manage this dot, and you do that with a simple, elegant 1-2 defensive punch. The first step is Purifying Brew. This is your reactive button. When you see your stagger bar getting high into the yellow, or even worse, the red, you hit Purifying Brew to clear a huge chunk of that damage that you would have taken. 2. Celestial Brew. This is your proactive button. It creates a big absorption shield to soak up the next wave of damage. You use this before a big hit it's about to land. And the key for synergy with Purifying Brew and Celestial Brew is to make it much stronger by sending a Purifying Brew, weighted global, then send Celestial Brew. This way, you purify the old damage away, then you create a new supercharged shield for the new damage coming in. It's a beautiful system. But what if these things get really bad? That's when we have our major defensive cooldowns. So, on that line we have Fortifying Brew. This is your main oh shit button for surviving huge damage. Dampen Harm is perfect for single massive boss attacks that are for big tank busters. that you know are coming. Diffuse magic is what you press when you're about to take a ton of magic damage. And then we have Black Ox Brew. If you're talented into it, this is your ultimate resource to reset. It initially refills, it instantly refills your energy and your purifying brew charges, and it resets the cooldown of Celestial Brew. You press this when you run out of everything. This is when you're dry. And then when high damage phases come in, you have your defensives back at once. Now, this part took me a while to understand at first. This is your recovery toolkit. This is your self-sustain. So let's talk about healing. You have two main ways to get your health back. First, you have healing spheres, which come from the gift of the Ox passive. As you take damage, you have a chance to spawn these little green orbs around you, up to 5 at a time to use them. You hit Expel Harm, which instantly pulls in the spheres for a single large heal. You want to use Expel Harm only when you need a big emergency heal. You're already capped at 5 orbs, and you don't want to waste any new ones that might spawn in, or if orbs are sitting in fire or some other bad stuff on the ground that you don't want to walk through. Your second way of healing is the Instant Vivify from the Vivacious Vivification talent. This gives you a free instant cast heal every 10 seconds. It's perfect for topping off your health while you're moving, or even for throwing a quick spot heal on an ally who's in trouble. You can think of it like a Word of Glory on a Paladin, or even a renewal on Guardian Druid like they used to do back in Dragonflight Season 2. And that's pretty much it. Master your damage rotation, power up your brews, manage your stagger with the 1-2 punch rotation, use your cooldowns for big pulls, and heal up whenever you need it using Vivify or Expel Harm. It takes a little bit of practice to get the flow down, but don't stress about being perfect right away. The most important thing is to experiment, get the feel for the rhythm of the spec, and above all else, have fun with it. I hope this helps you get started with the brewmaster, and good luck out there in Season 3 if that's the spec you want to send. Thank you again, and thanks for watching. Peace.